Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Here we go. A long tutorial on how to install Windows Exchange Server 2019 on your VMware Check it out. The first thing we need to do right here is install Chrome on Windows Server. So pause the video. That's the command prompt, the command line, what you need to do to install Chrome, because without Chrome it's a pain to download to Windows servers. So go to the command prompt, PowerShell, whichever one you prefer, PowerShell, preferably PowerShell, enter that, and here we go. We now have Chrome ready to go. So that's the first step. Once you get Chrome, you can download. You need 3 essential downloads. Alright, oh shoot, 3 essential downloads. Let's check it out. The first one is called Microsoft Net Framework 4.8 offline. So you guys see how I just went there and downloaded that one. It's downloading. Check it out. The next one is going to be C++ redistribute. I went to the first link. Now I had an issue with this. All right, I got 2015. I'll show you guys the download I got. Okay, I got 2015, 17, 19, 20, 22 Visual Studio, right? But later on I realized I had to come back and download 2013. The program would not run properly without 2013. So just keep that in mind. You'll see later on in the video where that came back to bite me. Next, we got to get Unified Communications 4.0 download. Alright, you get that. Runtime, download that. There you go. And that's pretty much it. Now, you're going to have to download the, this is the issue right here. The last thing you need is going to be the ISO for the Exchange server. Okay. So, I got a DC domain controller connected to another server that's gonna act as my Exchange server. Alright, this is my DC right here. Now that top file is the Exchange server 2019 x64 ISO. That is a very important file, and the way to get that file I'm gonna show you guys shortly. So what I did was I put these 3 files in a separate folder. I don't know why. And right now I'm on a domain controller. Okay, I made a mistake. It's gonna come up later on. But this video is a tutorial. But I'm new to IT, so I made several mistakes, and I want to show you guys what not to do. And this is gonna help you install this a lot smoother than I did. So I actually ran these programs on the domain controller, and that was not necessary at all. So what you want to do, you want to run these on the Exchange server first. Alright, now this is the file you need, the ISO, Exchange server 2019. I'm going to show you guys quickly how to get that, okay? We're going to do a Google search. Now, what you want to do, you want to mount this when you do download it. You want to mount it so it shows up. And you have to download this for both the DC and the Exchange server. Alright, so here we go. You go to Google. And the trick is this. The trick is to get the cumulative file. Alright, the cumulative update CU10 for Exchange server 2019. Alright, you get that, it's free. Otherwise there's no way to really practice with the EMS and the EAC, the Exchange Admin Center, and also the Exchange yeah, whatever. But you're gonna have to download these files. This is the only way to get this for free. Now, another problem I'm gonna run into lately, when you download the 2019 Exchange, it's a memory hog. Okay, so you want to mount this. Now, once you mount it, which I should have mounted right here, I don't know why I didn't mount it, but once you mount it, it's going to show up as an E drive. So this is the mistake I did. I installed these files on the DC, the domain controller. So you want to install these files, but you want to install them on the Exchange server, not the domain controller. Okay, so you guys gonna see here, we're gonna install these files, and it's not gonna damage anything. It's just when it comes time to set up the Exchange server, it's not gonna work. I have to go re-download and install these files on the Exchange server. So they are installing. It's a waste of time. An absolute waste of time, guys. So it's going to prompt you to reboot your system once they finish, and we shall do that. And remember, you're going to have to get 2000 Visual Studio 2013 also. So installation is complete. Restart. Here we go. The domain controller is up and running. This is the domain controller because I have a GPO backup on the desktop. That's a folder. Now, this is what you have to do to set the domain controller up. This is mandatory right here, okay? So, right here you want to mount it. I've been saying mount it for the last 3 minutes. But once you mount it, you see it shows up as a D drive. Now I'm going to mount it. Now it's E drive. And that's the Exchange. I don't know what's in that D drive. I'm gonna get rid of that. But that's the Exchange iOS. So now you run a series of command prompts. First you want to go to the E drive. You want to press directory dir to make sure, type in dir to make sure that the file is there. So you can see the file there. Next we're gonna search for the execution file. So dir asterisk .exx exe, and there you go. You can see this right there. The Exchange server files right there. So now we're gonna run the command prepare ad capital AD / I accept Exchange service server license. And as you can see, I made a typo. I'm missing a C in Exchange. So make sure you get the typo right. Then you want to do / organizational name. It can be any name, whatever you choose. This is basically trial, whatever. If you try to download the official 2019 Exchange, it's gonna ask you. It's gonna tell you do not have the rights to use the Exchange server. So there you have it. It says. It tells me to add the I accept Exchange. So I went over one of my previous entry, and I saw that I was missing a C right there. EX right there. So we're gonna do it over. Let's go back here real quick, put that C in, and voila. I just use the name of my domain controller. That's my domain name, so I just use that. But we're gonna press enter, and here we go. It does take some time to set up, so be patient. Maybe a few minutes. I'm gonna fast forward, skip to the next session. But it's copying the files. It's gonna take a little while to set up. But once it's set up, guys, you're good to go. Only on the domain controller side, okay? So again, prepare AD, capital AD, space forward slash I accept exchange server license terms, space forward slash organizational name, colon, whatever the name is, no space. And make sure you mount it. You mount the iOS to whatever drive it is, and go to that drive. And it's doing a prerequisite analysis and checks, and we're good to go. And guys, this is a long video, but I made it long purposely because I made a lot of mistakes. And it took me 2 hours to actually do this in real time. So it's a shortened video, but I'm new to IT. I'm teaching myself, I'm learning a lot. I got a bunch of videos coming, so you guys stay tuned. Last few months, I recently acquired my CCNA, CompTIA A+, CompTIA Security Plus, Microsoft Azure, and now I'm in the process of getting my first gig. So, you know, if I can do it without a background in IT, I was blessed to have a nice partner who supported me and helped me, give me ample time to study and do what I need. So that helps out a lot. But anyway, let's get to it. We on to the next. I don't know what I'm looking for. I'm not going to see Exchange Server here. But what you will see is, you go to your Server Manager, and what you will see, if this is done correctly, right there under Active Directory User and Computers, you're going to see the Microsoft Exchange Security Groups, and that's when you know that the main controller side is set up properly and ready to go. All right, and there's the groups, and that's it. So now on to the server side. The Exchange server, that's what we're going to set up next. Now I'm going to tell you guys, if you're using VM, 2019 Exchange server requires a bare minimum of 8 gigs of RAM to run. Now I'm doing this on an Alienware. I have 16 gigs. This is a laptop, a gaming laptop. So you're going to see in a demo that I had a bunch of issues installing this initially, because I had 4 gigs in there for the server. So I had to go back out, allocate more memory up to 8, which is really the max I can do. I only have 16 to begin with. So just remember, if you're gonna want to lab with this, you're gonna need 8 gigs of RAM just for the server to barely run. I mean, it's gonna run, but without 8 gigs, it will not install. It will shut down. It will not install. It will install it will sit there on a install and get to like 90 something, and it just sit there for hours. So to save you a lot of time, make sure you put 8 gigs. Now, if you can find the 2016 Exchange, all right. So we're on a server machine, and all you do here, you mount it, and then you open and you go to the file. You open it up. You go down to the bottom and you click setup. Okay, so all you guys here, you see that? You open it up, click the D drive, go down to the bottom, and click Setup, and that's how you set it up for the Exchange server. So I'm gonna not do updates because this is a lab. So I advise you guys not to do updates. You don't need to check for updates if you're just labbing. All right. So, but in the real world, you will definitely have updates checked. You always want to make sure your servers are up to date, especially with security issues nowadays. So this is gonna fail. Okay, and you know why it failed, right? Because I forgot to install the 3 mandatory files that we downloaded at the beginning on the Exchange server. I installed them on the domain controller, and that was not necessary. But basically, it's the same process. You want to download them. You want to download and install them 3 files. Now, it may take some time, roughly maybe 5 to 15 minutes. Depending on your computer and what else you may have running at the time. So as we sit here and wait, and remember, it's the cumulative update. That's the one you must have. So I'm gonna do not use recommend settings because, like I said, this is a lab. Okay, I don't want to check online for updates. I want this to go fast as possible. And depending on your lab, you may not have connectivity later on, so there's no need to do that. Alright, so make sure you check. Now, you see the issue here? This is before when I was running 4 gigs. So I'm trying to close out everything so I can see what's going on. And you will have a bunch of issues, fellas, guys, ladies. You will have a bunch of issues with things like server Exchange 19 is very, very memory intensive. It takes a lot of memory to run this. So you get to that stage, right? We're gonna come back, but you want to click the first option, and the first option mandates the second option. And then the third one is not necessary, but the fourth option, the additional tools, you want to click that also. So basically 3 out of the 4 boxes you must click right there. And this is me still, that first attempt, I had 4 gigs. And I sat here for maybe 30 minutes, 45 minutes, and it would not install. So we're going to do it over. And now we get a bunch of errors, right? These are the errors pertaining to not having the prerequisite files, which was the Visual Studios, the 3 files that was mentioned earlier. So I'm gonna download and install the 3 files, and we're gonna retry. I have the files already copied to the folder. I'm just gonna copy the folder to this server over here. And we're going to try it again. And as you can see, I have a host of errors because I'm missing so many files. You guys might not be able to see that, but you can see the bottom. Visual C++ 2013 redistribute missing. You must be a member of organizational management. So here we go. We're going to install that. Now right there, you see that says 2015 to 2019. So that's going to be an issue because I'm missing the 2013. So that's the additional file you're going to need. Make sure you also add Visual Studios 2013. So this is the Unified Communication Management API. And the last one we're going to get it's the 4.72 version 4.72 offline net. Yeah, I forget the name off top, but you guys saw the files in the beginning. So here we go. We're gonna run this install again Same thing, do not check. We're copying files. And once again, it's gonna fail. Speed this up. I'm just trying to help people out. You know, I'm labbing myself. I'm trying to learn. So in the process of learning, just to set up the VM was a big learning curve for me, and I had some issues. So I want to just look out for others who may be trying to learn, and you get stuck. The first thing you're gonna get stuck on is not being able to find Exchange Server for free. You usually have to have some kind of contract through Microsoft to use the Exchange servers and to use the Exchange Admin Center, which is really vital to any guy that's trying to lab. You know, you can do so much with the real thing versus reading a book. So again, do not use recommended settings. Now here's what I was talking about. You want to check the 3. That's the 3. Now we got an error again. Now this is a simple error. This is ridiculous on my behalf, but I didn't have enough disk space because of the previous downloads. So this requires 6 gigs roughly. So if you're gonna set a VM up, at least I would recommend you have at least 50 gigs set aside for this server in your VM, in your virtual machine. So I'm gonna delete some files. I'm just showing you guys all the issues. So if anything happens, you can say, you know why. You know, this is like a do what not to do video at the same time. So that's having enough space. We got 7 gigs free. We can run it again. Gonna do the readiness check, the prerequisite analyst. Now, here's the issue we have here. Computer requires Unified Communication 4.0, which is installed. I don't know why it says that again. But the main error I had is really the 2013 redistribution package. So we're going to try to find that download. And make sure we download these files. They're all 64-bit. So I ran it again. I just downloaded the other files, the triple check. I did re-download the communication file. And now there you have it. That's the 2013 that was missing. And make sure you install Chrome. Pause the video at the beginning, copy that command line prompt, or just Google how to install Google Chrome on Windows Server 2019 using PowerShell. I forgot who I have to give credit to, but that guy that's a great script. It works flawlessly. So here we go. We're gonna go ahead and install, download. Make sure you get the right one, x64. Alright. And that's pretty much it. So now it's gonna work, no issues. We up and running. And I want to thank you guys a lot. You know, I got a few more videos coming this week alone on how I got my A+, you know, what study materials I used. Also the CCNA. I use a lot of Udemy. CBT Nuggets is also a great resource. About plenty of books you want to read. For me, I like the visual videos, but I like to read too, because it's easier to watch a video, and you know, to me it's the easier way of studying. But if you really want to really have this instilled in your brain and your memory, you also want to read. You want to do both. But the best thing to do is to lab. If you can actually lab, oh my God, lab, reading, and the videos, you're gonna be a champ. You are gonna be a champ. Alright, so here we go. This is a domain controller. Now, this is what I was showing you guys. I'm at 8 gigs, right? I have 8 gigs, and if you notice there, that thing was maxed out. But now you're gonna see the Exchange Admin Center is up and running. See, it's maxed out. I have 8. It's at 96%. So 8 is gonna it's the bare minimum. Remember that 8 is the bare minimum. If you're gonna try to lab with this, understand that it's gonna struggle, but it will run. It will definitely run. You can definitely lab, but you will only be able to do this, the domain controller, and maybe another computer as far as your lab. If you're like me and you only have 16 gigs. Now, if you have more than 16 gigs, lab it up, baby. Enjoy it. But I'm gonna show you guys that it's connected to the domain controller. So I'm gonna add some user mailboxes, and I'm just gonna search for other users here, so you can see they come up. Let's do it again. Existing users is connected to the domain controller. I only have a few users. Here's Sally Lewis. Let's log her in there, and there you guys have it. Exchange is set up, ready to go. Domain controller, Exchange. You want to set up the Izzy target. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. The Skizzy, or however you pronounce it, but that's a whole nother video. But this is just the basics of getting the Exchange server set up on your VMware workstation. I do have the workstation. Now, it will still work for the VMware player also. But thank you guys a lot for watching. Please like and subscribe. Lab it up, baby. Lab every day. Let's go. Here you guys have it. Like I said, 8 gigs on that VM. 8 gigs. Thanks a lot.